A warm welcome back to your latest industry recap. Air New Zealand re-enters headlines for its own struggles. Cathay Pacific has announced an exciting expansion, and Icelandair has made history, and why not begin there, with them taking delivery of the highly anticipated Airbus A321LR, marking a new era for the company in terms of its fleet composition. Delivery occurred on December 3, 2024. The arrival of this aircraft represents the first Airbus plane delivered by the plane maker in its lengthy 87-year history. Hard to believe, but for them, it's one of the main talking points for this arrival. Icelandair hopes that the first delivery will allow 3 additional aircraft to arrive before the commencement of the all-important summer 2025 schedule. To have these new planes there and flying is a big thing it wants to achieve. However, given the complexities that are continuing when talking about supply chains and their knock-on effect for aircraft deliveries, there's uncertainty over whether such a thing will be possible. Therefore, Icelandair has to prepare for the worst and the ideal outcome. The first aircraft being delivered is also thanks to a leasing agreement with SMBC Aviation Capital Limited. The agreement revolves around the carrier's fleet renewal program, which is currently underway. But just what is happening to that all-important Icelandair fleet for them really to be entering a new era after all? Well, Icelandair is hell-bent on improving the business, and with that, a focus on finding a successor to the Boeing 757 has been a strong focal point for many years. While a fundamental part of its day-to-day operation and a beloved aircraft, the 757 is only going to continue showing signs of age. The 757-300 has already also been permanently retired, with the Dash 200 the only one left in service currently. And while the mainstay, it was ultimately the role of the A321LR. This Airbus narrowbody brings greater range capabilities, and with it 187 passengers in a 2-class configuration with premium and also economy present. Icelandair says that the A321LRs can fly up to 4,000 nautical miles or 7,400 kilometers, which means they will importantly seamlessly fit in to routes that were already operated by the 757. However, the benefits are going to far exceed just this. The LR is expected to be up to 30% more efficient than the outgoing Boeing type, showcasing really the continued advancements we're seeing in sustainability efforts. Therefore, operating the A321LR will help Icelandair align with their goals, which they've put a lot of emphasis on in recent times. Reducing CO2 emissions, noise footprint, and boosting operational efficiency are all other external focuses that this aircraft will help make possible. Looking deeper into the future at least, the arrival of the A321XLR closer to the end of this decade will enhance the network even further, with a wide array of new potential destinations for these planes. Over to Air New Zealand, who continue to experience a bit of a turbulent period as they've published recent performance metrics detailing a view of the business. The New Zealand flag carrier said its capacity has reduced by around 2 percentage points yearly as it battles with complications that have long plagued the company. Much of the recent capacity reduction, however, relates to maintenance troubles that have hurt its more next-generation planes from Airbus and Boeing. Ironically, and I will say this again, these planes were meant to improve the airline, and while on paper they will outperform older planes, and later down the line you'll definitely see that, they've been associated with many issues since entering service, which means for a company like Air New Zealand, the arrival maybe hasn't been all the most exciting. Air New Zealand's ability to serve its network has become difficult due to, 1, the A320neo family's related Pratt & Whitney troubles, as well as Rolls-Royce supply chain and durability challenges that affect the 787 Dreamliner fleet. There are no prisoners. We're not just talking one fleet type, unfortunately, for Air New Zealand. It is their domestic, regional, and also international fleet that is being affected. The company stated that available seat kilometers were primarily cut across their long-haul network, driven by those 787 groundings and maintenance concerns that stem from an uncertainty surrounding the future. And they're not the only airline that has come out and stated that this uncertainty is really one of the biggest concerns moving forward. Air New Zealand notes that it doesn't expect things to improve in 2025, and that really we should be seeing positive steps be made in the early stages of 2026. So this means next year it's going to have to navigate turbulence once more, but it will probably feel it's better positioned to do this next year, providing there aren't any, say, major hiccups. While maintenance-related challenges certainly do steal the spotlight as one of the more prevalent reasons as to why Air New Zealand has seen its business affected recently, this is not the only reason. Another avenue of concern that Air New Zealand has not really been able to navigate through as of yet is the battle with increased competition across key markets, affecting its own ability to perform adequately across the world. Notably, much of the competition it's facing is focused in on your trans-Pacific operations towards North American cities, with United and American, to just name a few, increasing their presence towards New Zealand, providing themselves fantastic onward connectivity options thanks to their domestic network, and taking market share at the same time away from Air New Zealand, who have just been unable to keep up with this, and state that the intense competition is impacting them in comparison to the previous period. While North America remains a bleak area, it's not all negative. There have been improvements at the very least seen towards key cities in Asia, and this is noted through improved yields from 2023. On to the final story, and that's it with Cathay Pacific, who have once more announced international expansion plans for 2025 as they look to enhance connectivity to Europe. For the summer schedule, the Hong Kong-based airline will actually offer 93 return flights per week from its home airport across 11 European cities. A key part of that schedule will be the launch of direct flights to Munich for the very first time, alongside the return of Brussels to the network. These locations act as two major centres for European activity, and therefore can be considered to be important additions. The first flight to Munich is expected to take place on the 16th of June next year, with 4 weekly flights complementing an existing service to Frankfurt, so therefore we'll see Cathay Pacific serve 2 ports in Germany moving forward. Cathay Pacific highlights the economic, manufacturing and transportation centres that all call Munich home, as why it's a very attractive city to begin serving from not just a business standpoint, but also catering to the leisure market. Hong Kong to Brussels, meanwhile, will return on the 3rd of August 2025, with the airline believing that now is the perfect time to recommence flying to the capital of Belgium. Cathay Pacific has, since the global pandemic, looked to rebuild, but also expand its international network. Following the effects of that pandemic that I speak of, it has been a bit of a challenge to find the most optimal balance. They know they need to respond to evolving trends, and with that, there are differences between now and 5 years ago. So as a result, we have seen certain new cities added before existing ones return to the broader network map, and this is an example of that. On service to the 2 newly announced destinations, Cathay says it will deploy its state-of-the-art A350-900 with spacious seats in economy and premium economy, alongside a commitment to offering fully flat beds in its business class. That'll conclude today's aviation recap. Thanks a bunch for your support. Take care, be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow for your latest industry recap.
And we'll fly.